Hi guys and welcome back. Today's video is going to be me showing you what's in my toddler's busy bag, so things that keep him occupied when we're in a place that he needs to be occupied, for example at a restaurant, or when we go travelling in the back of the car, or quite often I use this for when we go to church in the morning. He needs to sit for the first little bit of the service, and so I take things out of this little bag here. If you don't know who I am, by the way, my name is Abigail. I have a son called Samuel who is 2.5, nearly 3 actually, and a little boy called Noah who is 3 months old. And without further ado, let's get into what I've got in my toddler's busy bag. So this bag that I'm currently using is actually a toilet bag, like a washing bag I think. So you put all your toiletries in here usually, but I find it works perfectly for compartmentalising all the little activities. But you could also just use any kind of bag that you've got and just chuck all the activities in together and it works just as well. So I thought I would start off first of all and I'll show you what's in this top compartment up here. So in this compartment there is a string with a little bead tied on the end and then a bunch of beads. And this is a very simple activity, it's simply a threading activity. Obviously you can choose what's best for your child's ability level. So whatever threading activity, you could use that one instead. This is the kind of level activity he's at the moment, but if you've got an older toddler, then you can use smaller beads. If you've got a younger toddler, you can use like a threading cheese or something similar to that, which is what I actually had in my last son's busy bag that I shared with you guys, and I'll link it here if you can check that out if you've got a slightly younger toddler. Okay, that's what's in the first compartment, is just a big bunch of those blocks. That takes up quite a bit of room, so that's in one of the compartments. Then if we go into the next compartment down here, I'll just show you what's in there. So in this compartment there is 2 little mini tubs of Play-Doh in different colours. And then I also have things for him to play with the Play-Doh. So I have a fork and a knife. And then I've also got these little teeny tiny cutters that I found, a little diamond, and then a couple of little shapes for him to cut out and have like a mini Play-Doh session with all of those things that are in there. And this will be quite fun and quite handy, probably especially when we have to be quiet, for example at church on a Sunday morning. So that's what's in that compartment. The next compartment I have has a couple of different activities in it. This is the next compartment. And this one has a few different mini activities in it, if you like. The first one is this, and this is basically just a cinnamon sticks jar. This is an old herb jar, and then it's got that kind of side where there's a bigger side, and then there is a smaller side, if you can see that there, and it's got little teeny tiny holes. And so the activity is to get the toothpicks, which are stored inside the jar. And then I'll take them out. This is a supervised activity, by the way, because it is quite sharp, the toothpicks. And then the activity is to put the little, let me just try and focus that, to put the little toothpicks into the little teeny tiny holes. Again, an activity which can be modified easily depending on your child's ability level. But this will be quite fun for Samuel, he quite likes these kind of activities. And so you can just put them in there, and that's the first activity in that little section. Next, I have a little small, teeny tiny lock and key. And so, yeah, very simple. The activity is to practice opening and closing the lock with the little teeny tiny keys. Again, you can use a bigger lock. This is just one that Samuel will find a bit more of a challenge. And so I've just got that in there for him to practice locking and unlocking things. Next, I also have in here a little jigsaw puzzle. This one is I think it's a 12-piece puzzle. I've used one that's a bit simpler for him, that he can do very easily now without any much help, because if I want him to do it by himself, I don't want him to get too frustrated with it when we are at church or at a restaurant or something like that. So this is what I've got for him. Again, you could just choose whatever one's best for your child's ability level, but that's the one I've got in there. And this is a little Thomas Tank Engine puzzle, and so I just keep that in a little bag, and then I keep it within this section as well. Then in the same section I have one more activity in this little bag here. And all I've done for this activity, it's a very, very simple DIY activity where I have got different cards with different colours, and I've just cut out 2 cards of each colour in the same shape, and then I will just line all these ones up. Again, you could have more or less colours, and then I'll give him these cards and say which one matches. So for example, I'll line these up on the floor and I'll say which one matches, and he'll pick out the orange one and place the orange one on top of the orange one. And that's a very simple colour matching activity that is quite suitable for his age that he's currently at right now. And if it's an environment that's suitable, I can also get him to name the colours. And so that's another little, very, very simple DIY activity that can keep your child entertained. Then in this section here, I have a simple transferring activity for him. So I found these little They're not really tweezers, I don't really remember what they're for, but they kind of act as little tweezers. You could obviously just buy any kind of tweezer activity thing on Amazon. And then in this activity I have a little ice cube tray, which I have just found in my house randomly. And then I also have 12 of these little pouch lids. And the activity is, I'll just hold the pouch lids for him and he has to learn to pick up the pouch lid with the tweezers and then put it into there. I've also got 12 pom-poms, so you could do the same idea. You pick up the pom-pom with the little tweezers and put it in there. And it's a very simple transferring activity that should keep them occupied for a little while. They're all different colours as well, so again, you can do more naming colours with those things. And yes, you can just do all of those things. You could also mix and match some of the items. So these little pouch lids have got a little interesting shape on them. So you could use the pouch lids along with the Play-Doh to make more interesting shapes. You could also use the back or one of your pages of your water row as a surface to do your Play-Doh on and to play with your Play-Doh. You can play with the little animals that are on the set if your child's into pretend play. There's a lot of different activities that you can do, mixing and matching all of these. And yeah, so I think it's just a really great activity. You could also look at the different shapes that you've got here, all the different shapes, so the star and the circle, and you could try and make the shapes with your Play-Doh. And so yeah, like I said, these are activities which I would supervise because they have small parts, and depending on what your child's like, they might put the parts in their mouths and there is sharp objects. But if you're in a restaurant or somewhere else that you're right next to the child, then you can definitely supervise these activities and make sure that they are safe for your child and for the people around them. So that's currently what's inside of our busy bag. I will also show you a couple of other things that I'm going to take with us just for extra entertainment, depending on how long it needs to be entertained for. So the first thing that I'm taking is a classic water wow book, which I'm sure most of you have heard of because everyone loves these things. But if you haven't heard of it, it's essentially I've got a little brush and then you colour on here. It's got water inside the little brush. You colour on here and it shows up with the colours. And it's a little kind of very mess-free colouring activity. And then I also have this book, which is numbers, but it's not just a book, it's a little activity, so you can learn to, he's learning his shapes and numbers, so you can just learn to put these little things in here, and he finds it's very entertaining, probably putting them all in and pulling them all out. And so that should keep him entertained for another 5 minutes or so. And so those are all the things that I've put in Samuel's busy bag at the moment. If you want me to do more videos like this, then do let me know, because I do regularly switch out of all of his busy bag items and I put different ones in depending on his stage and what he's interested in. And so let me know if you want to see more videos like this. These are all Montessori aligned as well. All these activities are Montessori aligned. And anything specific that I bought in this video, I will link in the description box down below so you can go and check it out and potentially purchase it if you want. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye.